another episode of the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. As always, my name is DK. As always, his name is Bricky. And oh boy, Siege of Vraks. But before that, if you enjoyed today's episode, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. Consider supporting us. You get access to the Discord, bloopers if they happen. The $15 tier gets you all the HD posters you can shake a stick at. And we have the new one, the Inquisitor. Ooh, love it. It's already on my walls. And patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. Bricky, tell them about all of your stuff.
See, while the Inquisitor poster is on his walls, I am in it. And I'm here to provide to him excellent amounts of merchandise here, there, and everywhere that you can get at orchidate.com, which is where DK got his.
Yeah, it was. It was actually very fast shipping, too.
Well, yeah, we live like an hour and a half away.
Hey, shut up, man. Just take the compliment.
All right. Apparently, we're having another poster this month too, because Shai wants to do two of them, and it's Troy Baker from Death Stranding.
Hey, it is taking every fiber of my being not to spoil this poster.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. It's it's really, really good. It's really fucking good.
Oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When will it, like, I'm assuming I'll be ready, like, next week?
I don't know. Shai'll figure it out. Next Monday, sure.
Next Monday it is. Wahoo!
Wahoo! Where can they get it then?
You can get it at orchidate.com. You can get all kinds of merch there. You can get I'm a tank shirts, hoodies. You can get a tank top version. You can get posters. You can get dice. You can get all kinds of things. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
So, anywho, well, we don't really have. This time I'm not screwing with you. I genuinely do not have a quote for you this time around.
Well, yeah, it's Siege of Vraks Part 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I could still have a quote for you.
Oh, okay. But you don't. Okay, that's fine. I just want to know what happens, because the first salvos have been fired. The Krieg have launched their first salvos. They've set up their encampment, and I'm ready to go. I want to know what's going on at Vraks. I'm assuming the Krieg do some pretty, as the kids say, poggers work, because, this is what makes them famous. But let's go.
You think that the Kriegsmen might, like, adjust their gas masks so that the tube nozzle is just like a big pog?
No, I don't think they do.
I think that'd be a great idea. I think a World War I Krieg style gas mask, but instead of the tube coming out of it, just a big pog mouth would be excellent. And it's like Krieg pog.
I agree. I think that would be hilarious. But I don't think they actually did it, and I don't think it exists yet. I mean, that could change artists.
I will commission many of artists. Anywho,
oh, hell yeah.
Yes, so it's Siege of Vraks Part 2. This is where everything starts to go to shit. So, the first shots have in fact been fired. It has begun. The war for Vraks has begun. And all morning, they shelled the enemy. Like Earthshaker cannons and bombards, the Kriegsmen shelled down Cardinal Xaphan's forces until their gun barrels ran red hot. And naturally, the Cardinal's guns answered back, as at the same time as a regiment of Kriegsmen marched underneath the flying artillery shells. As Krieg shelled the Cardinal shelled Krieg, and underneath the arch of flying artillery, Kriegsmen marched, getting their way closer to the position of the enemy.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
Normally in most situations, as far as I can understand, before you begin your advance, you shell the living shit out of them, and then during the shelling, you advance up because you are because they are taking cover, they are suppressed. And then you stop shelling and you attack. Or in the Imperium's case, you attack while you still keep shelling.
Oh, yeah, because you have billions upon billions of reserves. So who cares if a couple thousand of our troops get caught in the crossfire? Whatever. Who cares?
At least in a more meme-worthy kind of style. For the most part, the guardsmen don't like to shell their own guys.
Yeah, but it happens. It's been known to happen. Also, after reading Storm of Iron, I'm just like, man, they should dig a tunnel underneath the walls and put bombs under there and stuff. And yeah.
Well, that's funny you say that, because as they were marching forward, they're basically digging trenches the entire way through. They're just
so essentially that is what they're doing, sort of.
Not underneath, but just, because you dig a trench to protect yourself from artillery fire, because, bombs exploding on the top is fine, but bombs exploding in is bad. Yeah. But it's a lot better.
Yeah.
They have a pretty long way before they reach the first line, as you can tell.
Yeah, true.
They're moving their way forward, and at this point, the first assault had to be really soon. And the way they worked, it was a 3-part assault of men. 500,000 men would lead this first assault. The first wave, much like most first waves, is not particularly high survival rates. They were there to figure out enemy weak spots and probe to the enemy's weak spots for the most part.
Checking to see the range of the guns, huh?
Maybe not that bad, but it's you gotta do probing.
Yep.
The second line would be mostly made of Krieg grenadiers to basically blow open all the areas of those weak spots, and the third wave would arrive to replenish the lines and expand. Then tanks would roll in and really secure a foothold. The idea often for the breaking through the line is like, all right, you need to, if you can cut a pinprick into the line, then you can kind of hold it and then slowly rip open that hole and take out the rest of the line, so long as you can gain any kind of foothold,
Yeah. Good strategy. I like it.
So, once the artillery ended, the Krieg then advanced and were immediately slaughtered.
Oh!
The artillery was pre-sighted. Heavy bolter foxholes were everywhere. Cardinal was pretty prepped. Only a couple of them made it to the lines, and those that did died real quick.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. That's
oh, boy. Wave 2 arrived, and not much different happens. It's a little tough when you have a tiny little slit in a tiny little dugout foxhole with a goddamn heavy bolter in it, and you really can't get through that.
No, you really can't. It's essentially it's just a killing field. It's just like you can't get through that. It's a kill zone. It's a kill zone for Xaphan.
It's a kill zone for PlayStation 3.
I got it.
I liked Killzone.
I never played the Killzone games. Legit, never played them.
I mean, they're pretty like shooty McShoot gun games, but I like them.
Okay, that's cool.
Anyway,
I have no opinion.
Well, actually, I feel like wait, hold on. I feel like Killzone players would really like Krieg, because they've got these bright
the
red
thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they have those bright red gas masks.
What are those cool dudes on the cover called? Aren't they like hell somethings? Hellghasts or something?
Hellghast, yeah, Hellghast.
Yes. I never played the game, but I had to look up what they were called, because I was just like, man, those guys are cool. Oh man, that's dope. And yeah, they're Hellghasts.
Yeah,
I assume they're like
it's pretty
evil, awful people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're a Nazi allegory.
Okay.
At least I would assume so. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no, I'd say, well, no, that's I guess Krieg is more the World War I as what was it? It's the Armageddon, right? Is World War II? Steel Legion?
Yeah. I was gonna say, this whole siege thing of Vraks and the Krieg, it's like, man, this is just really reinforcing. If you're a World War II buff or a World War I buff, man, you must just be creaming at the Krieg. 'Cause, oh man, this is just everything you love, right?
Ooh, I'm gonna Krieg.
All right.
Sorry. Anyway,
I'm gonna Krieg.
Anyway, so
in the Obama voice, I'm gonna Krieg.
I'm gonna my fellow Americans. I'm gonna Krieg.
I'm going to Krieg.
Mr. Dubois. Are you excited to see me
Noir!
Krieg up in here? All right, God damn it.
We're getting off topic.
Wave 3 arrived into the front lines, and Lol Lamau, says Cardinal Xaphan, nothing happened. There was no breakthrough. The enemy lines were not ruined by the artillery shelling, but in fact improved. And the enemy launched a counterattack, got into close quarters, and eventually, with the large contingent of Earthshaker cannons that the Kriegsmen had, they bombed it into oblivion, Kriegsmen and apostates alike. And
yeah, that does sound like a very Krieg move. Yeah.
For 3 days, the battle ended in a complete stalemate. And this lasted for weeks. Mines were deployed and then detonated and then redeployed. Prisoners were taken and interrogated. An average of 2,000 men died a day, and yet were refilled at extreme speeds.
Wow.
Interestingly,
so Xaphan is really no fool. Like, Xaphan isn't some just like, oh, look at me, I'm boop. Like, he's actually like a smart, well-to-do, like, military leader.
I mean, he's got, I mean, it's not obviously not just Xaphan. It's not like he's commanding everything. There's other generals and stuff. But yes, with what they've got going on, they are not as hopelessly outmaneuvered as they would initially assume. Also, they are, fortified as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So interestingly enough, in No Man's Land, the dead could not be buried, as it meant, only more dead people.
Yeah.
So on it went, and often the artillery would just like vivisect and blow corpses up into more meat. And like No Man's Land basically was strewn with nothing but bones, meat, and infection. It was just like a mass of flesh and uniforms.
Well, that's pretty grimdark. I think that fits the Warhammer 40K theme pretty well, actually. Okay.
Once you climb over the pile of dead, you will find the decomposing bodies of the other dead underneath those bodies. And this went on for an entire year of just back and forth stalemates.
Wow. All right. Cool. I mean, I'm sure the Krieg were having a great time. This sounds like it's just right up their alley, though.
So, well, in fact, it was particularly up the alley of one very certain Krieg captain. And this guy was commander of the 9th Company, Captain Tybork. Captain Tybork, in this... Yeah, Tyborc. Tybork.
All right.
Yeah. Or I mean, I don't know if it's the C is silent. Oh, Captain Tybord. I don't know.
Or maybe it's Tyborce. Maybe it's a C, I don't know.
It could be Tyborsk, but that's the wrong part of Europe.
True. Fair enough. All right, but Captain Tybork.
Good old Captain Tybork. Now, looking at the simplified document that I use and read on, they spend more time on this captain than most, which makes me assume that in the book, he's probably the biggest dick Giga Chad out there. Because he came off as quite the Giga Chad in this little, like, abridged version. But based on what I've read, I'm kind of in this, like, dang, this guy was probably a real baller.
Okay.
They needed to take a fort. There's a fort on one of the outer lines called Fort A453. And this fort.
Did they have to take this fort at nighttime?
Are you gonna make a Fortnite joke?
Maybe.
I'm tuned into your brain cells.
Wow, that's good, because normally you'd be like, why would they take it at nighttime? That's not a strategic business. It's because it's Fortnite, dude.
Default dance sound effect.
I don't know if that's a default dance. I don't play Fortnite.
So in the darkness, it is at night. Damn it.
Let's go! It's Fortnite.
So in darkness, Captain Tyborg prepped his men, in order to have a surprise attack launched to help take this fort. There was a new trench that had been excavated only a few hundred meters before the fort's main anti-tank ditch. And it was still dark as they had their preliminary bombardment, as they usually do, heavy shells, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And amidst it, they slowly crawled their way up, getting through and through. And once the attack commenced, Mr. Captain Tyborg was the first one to climb the ladder. He was leading from the front, ran through no man's land first, whipping through the heavy bolter fire, cutting the razor wire, and getting through into the enemy trenches. He was initially wounded in this as a heavy bolter shell caught a Kriegsman in the chest and blew him into like giblets, and a large chunk of bone embedded itself into his leg.
Oh, you got the bone shrapnel. Oh no.
Got the bone shrapnel.
Ugh.
But he was able to make it through to the other side of the trenches and create a small opening for his men.
Hey, okay.
As soon as they made to the trenches, he then ran into mines. All kinds of mines. And, being the badass captain he was, waded through them, moving with speed and haste. Wounded again by shrapnel as he continued pouring grenades into pillboxes and sending a message that they are inside the wire. And as the defenders start to wake up, they begin gunning them down mercilessly, either in close quarters or in melee. Or, sorry, like close quarter firearms or in melee.
Yeah.
His Vox operator was, how do I say this?
Killed?
Dead? And so he had to send an old school runner to run back with information that they, in fact, had made it to these trenches, and they were able to. They had a slight foothold. They got a spot. Mm-hmm. For an hour maybe, they fought this battle, this really close quarters, brutal, brooding battle. After melting a door to slag with a melt-a-gun, this bleeding, limping captain led his men in to charge with bayonets leveled, which he then took a third wound by being shot in the head by a bullet, grazing his temple and saving his life thanks to his helmet.
Jeez, he's been through it. Tyborg has been through it.
Inside this enemy bunker now, they were then shelled to absolute oblivion by the enemy, but were safe in this foothold tunnel.
Okay, cool.
The runner then made it back to the Imperium and began to relay that he needed reinforcements as they held firm in this tunnel, looting the enemy's dead all throughout the night. Inside the tunnel, they start with 40 men, and throughout the course of a day, they were down to 16.
Wow.
But as the third day came, the general that they got the runner to allowed for 3 companies of tank regiments to and our good friend the Bane Blade help reinforce. The Bane Blade. I like how it's 3 companies of tank regiments, and 1 Bane Blade.
One Bane Blade. Yeah, that shows you the heavy stock of the Bane Blade and how much of a game changer that is. You get 1 Bane Blade and 3 companies.
On the final day, the fighting was the hardest. They kept trying to flame them out using, flamers. And
no kidding. Is that how you flame someone out with a...
Normally,
really?
I like to use water.
It's a good choice, but yeah.
So, shut up. So, after good old Captain Tyborg here with the black asphyxiating smoke that was in the tunnels due to the attempt with the flamer, he was down to his final respiratory filter. He was out of water. His last pistol was empty. He had more wounds to his legs and torso. But with a few well-placed grenades and a suicidal charge, they were able to kill the man with the flamer, steal it, and then hold off reinforcements by firing it lightly through the tunnel until the flames ran dry.
Damn.
And then, the final night, the Kriegsmen had finally arrived to reinforce the position, and Mr. Captain Tyborg staggered from his position with 2 wounded legs, a right arm, shrapnel to his abdomen, head, and an empty flamer in his one good arm, along with 8 remaining when, and just like that, they had finally captured the first barricade, blockade, the first area.
Dang, Tyborg went crazy.
He made the breakthrough. He made the breakthrough. He got his spot. He held it for 3 days, got his reinforcements, and just like that, first front line, they got a hold.
Dang, he surely he got some sort of medal or promotion or something for that, or at least a good night's sleep. Cause
yes, I think he actually got promoted to colonel.
As well he should. He's very obviously a good leader, good fighter. Like, promote that man as high as you can. Whew.
You're, well, first things first. Let's get those. Let's get.
Oh yeah, definitely finish. Get the wounds healed and finish the Siege of Vraks. Then worry about all that commendation nonsense. Sure.
I'm sure he doesn't look any less ugly than he did when he first arrived.
It's fine. He's gonna wear a gas mask his whole life anyway. He's a Kriegsman. It doesn't matter.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So, finally, after 2 years of a stalemate, they finally had their spot. Now they are fully on the attack, which means, naturally, things can only get better from here.
Oh, yeah, I disagree that things ever get better. I do not believe at all that things
Hell yeah, brother. Xaphan, it's time to fight back.
Okay. All right, cool.
I mean, this one isn't as specific. Basically, the enemy counterattack arrived. Lots and lots of tanks for the most part. And in a sense, it was almost more like a delaying tactic. They fought back against the Kriegsmen pretty darn hard, but then at the same time, we're also shelled into oblivion. But at the same time, basically, we're like, all right, we got the front lines. All these Kriegsmen are now ready to push through, to murder and cause all kinds of great power. Oh crap, we now have to divert all of our resources to this counterattack. God damn it, our timetable is screwed up.
True. Okay.
So pushing them back, like they finally got a foothold. They started taking more ground, and then immediately Xaphan was like, no, and shoved them back in the closet.
Oh, okay.
And this this like closet shoving match went on for, I don't know, 1, 2, 7 more years.
Oh my God. 7 years of just pushing them back through their foothold? Oh my God.
There's
7 years?
There's that old Munitorum joke where it's like, or like Munitorum players, like in Us meme, where it's like 20 million dead, 2 kilometers of ground gained, ultimate Imperial victory. This I think is kind of where that may have sprouted, because millions died for genuinely a couple kilometers. That's about it.
Crazy. Like, to be at that kind of a stalemate for 7 years with nobody getting the advantage one way or the other is crazy to me.
Siege warfare takes forever, dude. And it's
sure,
actually
7 years for just that spot with no give or take either way is crazy.
It is. I mean, it's a kind of a real thing to know just how hard Vraks is to break.
I mean, so far it has indeed been not easy, sure, but dang. Sheesh. Shai said that's pretty embarrassing for the Krieg, actually.
It is a little embarrassing for the Krieg. Though, granted, there might have been some possible reasons for this that we'll determine later. But, after all this time, it is like just a regular planetary defense force versus the Krieg. But in fairness, this is Vraks. It's been 9 years of fighting. One thing I do think is kind of fun about this story, though. It's just. Oh, yeah. Okay, you tell me first.
Oh, no. I was just gonna say. So far, nothing has sounded super fun. With the field of dead meat and bodies and skeletons and stuff. And we've got Xaphan, who is just not a good human being at all. The other side that's been dying for 10 years. I don't know. Nothing really sounds fun to me. But please tell me they build a Chuck E. Cheese and they all have pizza together and play in the ball pit.
Well, now I don't want to tell you.
Does it get worse? Of course,
it gets worse. Okay, no, I was being genuine here in this thing where it is. Oh. What's fun about it is like, despite all the ridiculousness, I'm just saying it's nice that we finally have like a guardsman fight. There's no space marines. There's no nothing. It's just nice to have guard on guard.
Oh yeah, sure. I do like that. It's just the overwhelming power of the Imperium's guard regiments just tidal waving. Yeah. And there's no overpowered space marines to come in and just bolt or save the day.
Yeah. So some bad news had reached the Lord Commander. Enemies had been reinforced that looked like space marines.
Oh, okay. So
it was the setup.
It was all a big setup. Okay. Sure, fine. No, that's cool. All right.
It's time for the Space Marines to join the fight. DK, aren't you excited?
Damn it! I was kind of hoping you were gonna just be like, oh, they did build a Chuck E. Cheese. They built a 40K version of it. Oh well.
What did you think the Vraks Chuck E. Cheese would be like?
Not great.
Pizza
would probably taste about the same, though.
It'd be fortified with corpse starch.
Corpse, yeah, yep, yep, sure. It would probably taste better actually than regular Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza is in fact pretty shit.
I've had it once in my life, and all I remember is, wow, I would sure prefer cardboard over this. Anyway, Siege of Vraks, huh? Space Marines show up. Which chapter shows up?
The Alpha Legion.
Of course the Alpha Legion shows up. All right, cool.
So, next thing you know, there are reports of a dark blue color Astartes chilling on Vraks. And Lord Commander's like, oh, that's not good. There are no blue-colored space marines in this sector. Those are probably traitor Astartes. And like, oh god.
Wow.
So, this begins a long descent of all kinds of shit. This was a Alpha Legion warband known as the Faithless, led by Lord Arcos, also known as Lord Arcos the Faithless.
Wow. They really like giving him that title, huh?
Well, that's what the warband is named after. It's named after him.
Oh, okay. I was like, warband is the Faithless. He is the Faithless. It's like, all right, buddy. Like, did you not learn any other words in 4th grade? Like,
he learned Alfarius.
Yeah, Omegon, Alfarius. Yeah,
that's about it.
Saw a meme on Twitter that was Robute Gilliman trying to sleep. It was like, I get sleep once every 10 years, brain, be quiet. And then it was like the picture of the brain going, hey, what if the Alpha Legion's logo is a Hydra because Alfarian and Omegan were actually triplets? And it's like, I can't sleep now.
Oh, goddamn, that's horrifying to hear.
Right? I get this meme, and it is horrifying. Hooray. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Alpha
Hooray. Legion. Hooray, says DK. I get this meme. It's horrifying. Hooray!
Yeah, hooray! But I got it.
You did get it.
I got it.
With that, with the Alpha Legion arriving, they have made their way from the battle barge known as the Anarchy's Heart, and they believe, yeah, I know, right? They believe that this is an attempt to create a major destabilization from the sector, which will then allow the fortress worlds nearby to come under attack. possibly kickstart a new Black Crusade. So they're taking a real interest in Vraks.
Sure, of course.
So they're out and about helping things out, which is really bad because, this slow-moving war of attrition is one thing, but the moment you stick some Astartes in there, that changes the entire game plan.
Oh, yeah, it's really hard to war of attrition Space Marines when you are the Guard.
Also, you can kind of expect Space Marines to move Guard to move in a slow, organized manner, pushing against your gates. The Alpha Legion, especially of all the Space Marines, especially the Alpha Legion, will just appear in your fortress out of nowhere and murder all of you.
Yeah, in staggeringly short time, too, because they are very well armed.
And speedy. So, yeah. Mr. Lord Commander has received reinforcements that he asked for. Bunch new Kriegsmen, bunch of new guardsmen, all that kind of jazz. But thanks to his very special political family heritage we mentioned, he received specifically very strong reinforcements. Because...
Space Marines?
Ya boys, the Dark Angels, have come to help.
Oh, okay. So we've evened the playing fields now that the Astartes have showed up, at least. It's not just, I was going to say, if it's just the Alpha Legion and Xaphan versus the Krieg. The Krieg.
The Krieg.
The Krieg. The Krieg of the
Dig that tunnel, brother.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to dig a tunnel, yeah.
Oh, yeah, artillery barrage. Oh, that'd be a great wrestling move. The artillery barrage. Was there an artillery barrage wrestling move?
I don't think so. I don't think there was, unfortunately. No, there wasn't. I don't think so. There's the camel clutch, but no, sorry.
Damn.
I don't remember what I was. I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, the Dark Angels are here.
Oh, yeah. If it was just the Krieg against Xaphan and the Alpha Legion, things probably wouldn't have gone too well for the Krieg, right? But now that they've got the Dark Angels, things are evened up, and it's actually like a fair fight.
Well, let's see. Do you think Dark Angels particularly care a whole lot about the Kriegsmen?
No, probably not, but at least they'll be there to take care of the Alpha Legion. As long as they can kind of cancel out the Alpha Legion, things should go okay for the Krieg, right?
Gonna use your 40k knowledge here. Why do you think the Dark Angels have decided to arrive?
Because they were told to?
No, think
or
more
because they just want to kill everybody?
Remember, this is pre-Lion. Think selfishly.
Because they want Vraks all for themselves? Because...
What do Dark Angels do? What's their shtick? What's their thing?
I don't know. I don't remember, all right?
You literally said half of it, and you didn't even finish it. You were right, the Fallen!
I don't even know what I wanted. Oh, okay. So, what, they think there's Fallen here, and they just want to kill him?
There's traitorous Space Marines!
Oh. Well, so they do want to kill the Alpha Legion.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Is specifically they're there because they're like, oh shit, Alpha Legion, traitor Astartes are here. The Fallen might be here. We're gonna.
So they're gonna go kill them and cancel out the Space Marines, like I said.
It was. We were trying to get more into the reasoning for it.
But I was the best kind of right. I was technically right.
Futurama's a good show.
It is a great show.
Okay, well, all right. Now, moving on.
That was fun. That was like a replacement for the quote.
Yeah. So, Azrael himself is here. The big head honcho Azrael has arrived. And they have this self-assigned mission specifically to destroy Vraks' starport. The reason for this is pretty simple. It's to draw men from the front lines to assist in defending the starport for the Kriegsmen, but specifically, they brought themselves interrogator chaplains. there might be fallen on here, and they are going to find out. So,
okay.
They move into low orbit, deploy their Thunderhawks, and after 8 days of fighting, they have a combination attack where it is a massive armored spearhead led by Azrael and his Land Raider, mixed with Thunderhawk deployments on the other side that had them bomb, circle, and for the most part, devastate the Vraks starport. Obviously, it happened very quickly, of course, because naturally, the Space Marines do not work slowly; they work very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Also, every time I hear Land Raider, I can't help but like chuckle to myself now
because of Ark and Land.
Yeah. Land Raider.
One of the best parts of that damn book.
Yeah.
They did manage to lose a few. Wait, they actually didn't lose too many Dark Angels. They lost I think 15. They lost about 15 Dark Angels. I think it was 15 Battle Brothers had joined the Emperor.
That's kind of a lot of Space Marines, actually.
15 is a pretty solid amount. They specifically also lost their Sacred Banner Bearer, which was kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah. That's no muss. You don't want that happening.
But for the most part, I mean, the Dark Angels wanted to take the starport of Vraks, and for the most part, they really did. They went like place by place, building by building, bombed, burned, or ruined it out, or broke it down. Hey, whoa, Shy. They might be shitty cultists, but an entrenched las cannon is an entrenched las cannon.
It's true. I mean, look at what happened in Storm of Iron, right? That
is true. Well, it's Storm of Iron. Hanzo loses his goddamn arm to Acadian Castellan, which is some shenanigans.
But that's the good thing about 40K is like because of how much of a power disparity there is between authors. It's like, well, just look at this book. Of course, the shitty cultists beat up some Space Marine. Of course, why not? It could happen.
Look at good old Gaunt's Ghosts. Like 4 guardsmen just turned their las cannons to shoot her and killed Space Marines. Like it all depends.
Shoot!
I don't get that reference.
It's Jurassic Park.
Oh shit!
Very beginning with the raptor.
Oh God, yeah.
Shoot!
That is
the arm is slipping through, and yeah.
But yes. So they did lose about 15 Battle Brothers, but the main thing after taking the starport was the big battle with Azrael and Lord Arcos, the main Alpha Legion guy. Okay. I don't really have much to say on this battle. It's kind of like a really major, important duel in the fight, but it's a classic case of Azrael and his little helper watcher fight him. They start to lose. The Alpha Legion guy beats him down, is about to kill him. The Death Wing arrive, force him away, but then the cultist guy, or the Alpha Legion guy escapes, and then they leave. Classic Space Marine duel. Classic.
Yep. Pretty classic for Alpha Legion 2 to just be, I'm gonna get away.
If I had a nickel for every single time there was a major Space Marine duel, and one of them nearly dies, is reinforced, and the other escapes, I would have enough to buy a Forge World Thunderhawk.
How much is a Forge World Thunderhawk?
Too much.
Oh, I mean, it is Forge World, so it's always going to be too much, but Thunderhawks are, pretty chunky minis, so I imagine it is just an outlandish number.
But, yes, so this little duel thing happened, but at this point, with the Vraks starport pretty much fully crippled, Shy beat me to the punch. They left.
Oh, really? That's it? They just left?
Yeah.
We're done here. And they just go?
They landed, destroyed the spaceport, lost some dudes, did not capture any Alpha Legion fallen. They did destroy the spaceport instead of allowing it to be recaptured, which I guess is like, that could be either or. You could argue the Imperials would like that to land more reinforcements, but at the same time, destroying something is much faster and easier than capturing it for yourself. Well, the Dark Angels are not known for being particularly nice or caring. Well, I mean, think about it. They didn't capture any fallen. Darn.
Yeah, that's true. I guess
Why?
I guess they would have only assumed that there would just be fallen in the Alpha Legion, because why would there be any fallen anywhere else? So I guess once the Alpha Legion is gone, the Dark Angel's like, well, I'm out.
Pretty much.
They're not going to be like, oh, well, let's stay and help the Krieg, and maybe there's something in Xaphan's fortress that we want, because there's not. They just want the fallen. So yeah, I guess
the Alpha Legion could most definitely have stuck around. Not the Alpha Legion, sorry. The Dark Angels could have definitely stuck around and continued to help, and probably just turn the entire Siege of Vraks, be done within like 6 months. But
that's just not the Alpha Legion way, right?
No,
no,
the
Dark Angels way. That's not the Dark Angels way, yeah.
Dark Angels did not capture any Alpha Legion, so that means they didn't capture any Fallen, and so they're like, all right, well, that's that. Bye.
Wow. Yeah, this is why no one likes you, Dark Angels.
Space Marines are not always known to be particularly great, oftentimes. So,
yeah.
It's Space Marines are known for doing what they want and only what they want.
Yeah, it's not like they're the Salamanders or something. Salamanders probably would have stayed and helped.
Salamanders would have definitely stayed and helped.
Ultramarines probably would have stayed and helped. As much as I like to rag on them, they probably would have stayed and helped.
Yeah, the only people Iron Hands probably. Actually, Iron Hands probably would have, because they're probably like, ooh, the logistics of this are very important.
Dark Angels might have been the worst chapter to show up for the Krieg, because that's probably the only chapter that would have been like, nah, I'm out, and not helped. Like, most other Space Marine chapters probably would have. Except, like, actually, most of them would.
But most would have helped. But
Dark Angels were, like, the worst ones to show up.
I mean, maybe we're not giving Dark Angels enough credit here, but they, in this situation, they did not do particularly very much.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah.
Speaking of Alpha Legion and stuff, at this point, the Kriegsmen have now made their way through to take the second line. With the Vraks starport theirs, it had been 9 years, and the timetable was slowly coming to a close. After the Dark Angel's departure and the reinforcements of the Krieg, they were able to take the second line, really open up a good spot there. And that means the Citadel of Vraks, the main area, was now in Earthshaker cannon range.
Ooh, it's time for a heavy bombardment. Let's go.
Now it is time to just go into it. In fact, I keep saying
long haul.
I keep saying Earthshaker cannon. I'll make it very clear. That's the Basilisk. That's this thing.
Okay. So
just because I keep saying it, but like that's the name of the cannon is the Basilisk Earthshaker.
Okay. That's kind of what I was imagining. Sort of that very World War I-ish artillery cannon, World War I, World War II sort of artillery. So yeah.
They also have the bombards, which are these.
That stubby little cannon.
And they also remade that one in a plastic kit, the Morbius bombard.
Oh man, that thing's morbid, for sure.
It's actually called the Morbus bombard, but it's so close.
It's still morbid.
It's morbid.
That stubby little cannon on the back is just like, stop it. Stop it.
I'm
about to
bombard.
morb.
Oh, I'm gonna morb.
I'm gonna morb.
Anyway, morbid aside,
Yep.
here at this point, it's been, how do you say? Cardinal Xaphan is not doing great right now. He's kind of just sitting there in his tower, getting casualty reports constantly. But at this point, Xaphan's mind was really twisted and a bit insane. Remember Deacon Mammon, the guy who kept telling him to do stuff?
Uh-huh.
Can you guess what's up with Deacon Mammon?
Is Deacon Mammon? I mean, he's obviously not a good person.
So you actually had the right answer. I heard it coming out of your lips, but then you stopped.
Does he have the stink of chaos on him by any
Oh
chance?
yeah, he is a corrupted boy.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. Yeah, okay, all right.
He was super duper corrupted, and that corruption has spread its way through basically all of the area of the forces, which is why you see them also chaosy. But at this point, he's been kind of replaced by the Lord Arcos of the Alpha Legion. Understandably, normally when you're the second in command to the main person, a chaos corruption, you just find someone who's even more chaos corrupted to take your place. You can't really argue with a chaos lord.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. But the Xaphan has gone so far out of his own mind that he basically believes that the Emperor is the ultimate threat to the Imperium. The Emperor is false, fake, all the Horus Heresy classic statements, and is totally rotted. This point, his mind was just broken. Like, not even from like a chaos corruption standpoint, just like he would just sit. Oh yeah, he would just sit there for like hours, staring blankly at the wall. Like almost like in shock. Just
so he has been completely broken.
Yeah, he did not even care about the casualties happening outside. He was oblivious to the bombing and everything. If the Emperor turned their back on him, why would he even care? Why should he even go on?
Oh, wow, that sucks.
But our good friend,
did it to himself, though.
A little bit of megalomania, a little bit of chaos, corruption, a little bit of insidious plots from his inferiors.
Just a wee bit of the old megalomania.
The orcs aren't here.
That's true. I'm sorry.
But
they should be.
They should be. Orcs being in here would make for a great time.
Yeah.
But Lord Arcos have convinced him that there were still ways to help his people. In fact, there were many other allies that could help him.
Oh, no.
All he's got to do is accept their offer, and those allies might turn the tide and save the men and women of Vraks that he so wanted to protect.
Oh boy! All right. Here comes chaos. Just like a wrecking ball. Here comes chaos. Oh boy!
Oh, and Xaphan was just, he said okay, and he went. He accepted and went right back to his personal hell.
Yep.
Then Mr. Arcos grabbed his sorcerers and prepped for a lovely blood sacrifice ceremony, and it's was time for the Kriegsmen to see their first ever manifestations of the warp.
Oh boy, yeah, chaos came in. It came in like a wrecking ball. Oh my god.
The warp spawned presence is here, and the dark gods have their followers on Vraks. And that's where we'll end this one.
All right. Oh boy. I'm oof. That is an ominous place to leave off, but fitting. Third episode is going to be pretty great. Looking forward to seeing what the stink of chaos brings to the table. So, yeah, cool.
Do we need an extra episode, Bricky? I feel like we are going at a 4-episode pace. I think we could kind of scoot through a lot of the naval battles, not too tough. The naval battles aren't...
Naval battles? Oh, that's true. Okay, so I'm stupid.
Not
of course, they're
water
naval battles. I immediately was like, how are there naval battles on this desert wasteland? It's the naval battles in space, of course, because I am an idiot. Great. Glad we've all established how smooth my brain is.
I don't think there's too much needed in terms of the naval battles. We can probably move through those pretty quick. But you know, Shy, when I read the next part, if this looks like a 4-episode one, then I'll let you know, and it'll be a 4-episode one.
Yeah, cool. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm loving the Siege of Vraks. So if it is 4 episodes, I'm down. I'm cool.
Why
not?
It's too good to not end this on the summoning of demons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then demons were summoned to be continued. Q roundabout.
Is that the? Oh, I know what that. Yeah.
The JoJo end theme, you know.
Yeah.
Bow.
Chai told me that I had to do this for the end of the episode, so I'm sorry.
You're gonna do the pipes, aren't you?
Why isn't it going? There it goes.
All right, I'm out of here. This is
this is stupid.
This is just fucking dumb. You're still doing.